Ever get that sinking feeling? You know that one when you see WordPress update available?
Oh, tell me about it. It's like that thing you know you should
It's
do.
always hanging over your head.
Exactly. And this Aussie web design company, now Technology Systems, they're saying those updates, they're not just about getting those shiny new features. They're
Yeah.
really important for Aussie businesses especially.
Oh, okay. So it's more than just keeping up with the Joneses.
Way more. They actually connect updates to, like, your bottom line. Imagine this. A security flaw, right? In some outdated plugin. And hackers, they get in, steal your customer data.
Oh no, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Total disaster, right? And the article really emphasizes this point. Regular updates, they're your best bet to prevent these awful situations.
So it's like being proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. They even call backups your insurance policy.
Insurance policy, huh?
Yeah, it's like, don't wait for your site to crash and burn.
Better safe than sorry.
Right. And they even have these specific plugins they recommend, like Updraft Plus, BackWPup, that sort of thing.
Handy. So it's like having a spare key, but for your whole website.
Exactly. A lifesaver. Now, they also mentioned this thing about PHP versions. Have you heard of that?
PHP version? Vaguely. It's a little techie for me. Is that something I actually need to worry about?
It depends. If you're handling all the website stuff yourself, then yeah, it's good to know. Think of it this way. WordPress is like a car, right?
Okay, I'm following.
PHP, that's the engine.
Yeah.
And if you've got an outdated PHP version, well, your site might run slow, be vulnerable. Often best left to your web host, though, to be honest.
So more like finding a good mechanic you trust.
Exactly. Speaking of minimizing risk, they talk about using a staging site when you're doing updates. If your web host offers one, that is.
Staging site. Remind me what that is again?
It's basically like a clone of your website.
Okay.
You can test updates on that clone without affecting the actual live version everyone sees.
Ah, I get it. Like trying on clothes before you buy them.
Yes, exactly that. It's a safety net.
Smart. So you don't end up with any wardrobe malfunctions. Now, they break down the actual updating into 3 steps, right?
Yeah, and the first one, I thought that was interesting. Update those themes and plugins first before you do anything else.
Why that order?
Compatibility. It's all about making sure everything plays nicely together. Imagine your website's a well-oiled machine. Yeah. You want all the parts to work smoothly. You don't want to, like, put diesel in a petrol engine.
Recipe for disaster.
Exactly. Then, the main event, updating that WordPress core.
Yeah.
Which, usually, it's pretty straightforward. But they really stress this. Let it run its course.
Don't interrupt.
Yeah, exactly. You know that message like, do not turn off your computer. It's like that.
Let it do its thing.
Exactly. Now, even when you see that lovely update successful message, don't celebrate just yet.
Oh, there's more.
They say it's super important to test everything thoroughly afterwards.
Makes sense.
Click through your site. Imagine you're a brand new visitor. Make sure everything looks good, works as expected,
That's where that backup comes in handy, I bet, in case something went wonky.
You got it. It's your safety net, your get-out-of-jail-free card.
Oh.
And speaking of which, they point out some common pitfalls. Even tech-savvy Aussies, they fall for these.
Oh, really? What trips people up?
Well, number one, skipping those backups.
They really want to drive that point home.
They do, and for good reason. And then there's neglecting to actually test after the update. Oh, and letting those plugins pile up. Creates what they call bloat.
Bloat, like with software?
Yeah, it's like imagine never servicing your car. Eventually, things are going to start going wrong.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like they've seen it all, those website woes.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting how they tie this technical stuff back to running a business here in Australia.
Totally. They get it. Your website, it's not just some digital pamphlet.
Right, it's got to be more than that.
It's the face of your business online. And in Australia especially, where everything's digital for small businesses, having a website that's smooth, secure, it builds that trust with customers.
Oh, absolutely. First impressions matter. If my website's slow or looks outdated, or even worse, it's got security risks, that's not good.
Exactly. It reflects on your whole brand. They even say it's like you wouldn't open a shop with a broken door and flickering lights, right?
No way.
Your website, it deserves that same care.
So true. And just like I'd hire someone to fix my plumbing, they're saying maybe I should get some help with my website too.
Especially the updates. Because even simple updates, they can have, unintended consequences. If you're not tech savvy, it can be risky.
I'd hate to be the one who accidentally broke the internet, or at least my little corner of it.
Exactly. It's about peace of mind. Let the experts handle it. You focus on what you're good at. Yeah.
Running the actual business. Now, they did mention Aussie data protection regulations, too. What's the deal with that?
It was subtle, but important. They're reminding businesses, keeping your site updated. It's not just about looking good or working right. It's about the law.
Oh, okay.
Protecting your customers' data, avoiding those big fines. It's part of being a responsible business these days.
Digital responsibility. I like it.
Right. And this is where they slide in that local touch. They're really positioning themselves as the solution here, highlighting those advantages of going with an Aussie company, one that understands the challenges, the rules, all that.
It's that we get you mate approach.
Exactly. We're Aussie business owners too, we know the score. And it's smart, especially here where those relationships, that trust, it's everything.
Totally. Now, towards the end, they seem to really hammer home this idea of consistency, like making updates a regular habit. Why is that so important?
Well, they get it, you know. Business owners are busy.
So
Website maintenance, it can feel like just another chore on that never-ending to-do list.
easy to let it slide. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Exactly. But they're saying, look, consistency is key. It's like that Aussie spirit, that she'll be right attitude. But instead of just hoping for the best,
Be prepared.
right, build those good habits just like anything else in your business.
Schedule it in. Set a reminder.
Exactly. And hey, don't be afraid to call in the cavalry, those experts, if you need help. Turn that she'll be right into I've got this.
Love that. Taking control, owning your online presence. So this wasn't just some boring technical guide to WordPress, was it?
Not at all. They've managed to frame it within running a business, especially here in Australia. Really smart.
Yeah, they made it relatable.
Engaging even.
It's true, they really captured that Aussie spirit, you know? But they wove in those data protection regulations, too, and it made me really stop and think.
It's sneaky, right?
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
They're reminding everyone, a website, it's not just about looking flashy. It's a big responsibility. You're looking after your customers' information. And those Aussie regulations, they don't mess around.
Nobody wants those fines. It's definitely better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? This whole deep dive, it's got me thinking about my own website. I've let those updates pile up, I'll admit it.
Oh, you're not alone. Probably half the businesses out there are in the same boat. Running a business, it's a handful. It's easy to let things slide.
It is. But this article, it really showed me ignoring your online presence, that can backfire, especially here where it's so competitive.
Big time. It's like they're saying, running your business is tough enough. Don't make it harder on yourself.
So true. They make a really strong case for making those updates a priority, whether you DIY it or get the experts in.
And they did it without making it feel overwhelming, you know?
Right.
Like it's not another dreaded task on the to-do list. It's a positive step towards a better business.
Exactly. They took away that fear factor, those updates, and it feels more empowering now.
It's like, go get them, Aussie businesses. Keep those websites updated. Stay safe and watch your business grow.
I love it. Well, they've given us a lot to consider today. Those backups, finding the right local experts, all of it.
It all comes down to this. Taking care of your website, it's an investment in your future.
So true. And in this digital age, we can't afford to ignore that. So, listeners, here's something to think about. When was the last time you checked for those WordPress updates? Maybe it's time for a little website love. Until next time, happy updating, everyone.